Bosh. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today, I think I've got a good session here today. I am going to be talking about what I believe is a very underrated method today. A very underrated style of fishing, and also a very good tactic for beginner anglers. Oh my god, there are so many fish. They're all just down here. They're literally in front of this peg here. They're all feeding down here in this margin. I've literally just arrived and I'm seeing all this action already. So I think I have found my peg. But yeah, it's absolutely stunning here. All the beautiful mist on top of the water. Right guys, so as you've just seen on that bait, good little fight with that. They do fight really quite well in here, but we've got a fish. Again, nothing incredibly sized, but absolutely remarkable to get off the mark. It's not a blank, so I'm just going to take a little minute, admire my lovely catch, which is just absolutely gorgeous, so pristine. No wounds to take care of, thankfully. Very feisty, still got some fighting and bless him. But yeah, we'll slip him back. So it's still been barely in time. I think I've only been here about an hour or so, maybe a little over an hour, but yeah, rider's just absolutely bent over again. And we're into yet another fish. Lovely, beautiful little mirror. So we'll get him out on the landing mat and give you guys a proper little look. Bosh, so it has happened again. We have another fish in this mat. Splash some water on him, and I'll let you guys have a look at this little beauty. They stopped splashing me in water, that is. Oh my god. Brother, absolutely beautiful mirror. I think he is the biggest one of the session so far. So yeah, happy blimmin' days. Let's talk a little bit about this method that I'm going to be using today, and that is the almighty method feeders. These are such a good and strong tactic. I don't want people overlooking this method because it is absolutely unreal. So this is such a good active way to fish, and a very good way to learn how to fish. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how you set it up. So you get the end of your main line. This, if you buy the Drennan method feeders like this is a large one. There's a flat bed on it. It's a 25 gram one that comes with this tail rubber which sits over the top, and it comes in with this little bead at the bottom, which I will show you in a moment. But first things first, all you want to do is feed the end of your main line through the narrow part of your tail rubber. Slide it all the way down, and you can take this bead out. So this is the little bead, and it has a sleeve over it, and it makes it very easy to attach different method feeders, attach different hook links, everything like that. So it's all very quick, easy and simple. And we'll do feed your method feeder on through your main line. So your main line obviously comes out the bottom of the method feeder, and just pull through a nice length of main line. Just allow yourself a lot of material to play with. Double it over back on itself, create a loop. So I have a loop here and a loop here, and I'm going to feed this loop through this big loop that we just created. Take your time with it, guys, if you are new with this, because it can be a little bit fiddly. If you've got a baiting needle, you can certainly use a baiting needle. It makes it a lot more easy. And always remember, guys, before you bed your knot down, a little bit of moisture, pull it tight. You can give your tag end a little bit of a tug just to make sure it is all bedded down nice and tight. Where my scissors gone? Sat on them. Trim your tag end, but do not trim your tag ends all the way down. Always leave a little bit of room on your tag ends just to allow the knot a little bit of play to move a little bit. Because what I used to do, I used to trim it down completely flush. Yeah, it looked lovely and neat, but there's no room for the knot to move if need be. So if that tag end slips out, the whole knot comes loose, you lose everything pretty much. So trust me when I say it is not worth it. So now all you do, on these little beads, they have a mouth. So once you pull the sleeve down, it has like a little mouth, kind of like a quick change swivel, and you feed your main line into that, pull the sleeve down, and then pull the sleeve back down the other way. Attach your hook link on there the same way you just attached your main line to your method feeder. Pull your main line up so it all then pulls back through up the method feeder, and then you pull the bead back into the method feeder with your hook link. This is a nice short hook link as well. I think it's about 3.5 inches, something like that, which for this style of fishing I could not suggest enough that you use a nice short hook link. Because what's going to happen, obviously you have this will sit on the bed, you've got all your little micro pellet or ground bait on there, and ideally you want a wafter on your as your hook bait. I just tend to find they work best. You can use a pop-up, but obviously then that's gonna sit quite a bit above all of this, which can still work. I have still caught like that, but yeah, ideally wafters work better because that will actually sit around all your bait and stuff, so when they come down to feed, they pick it up, and because it's a nice short hook link, it doesn't take much for them to just pick it up, bang, they're in contact with the lead, that hook is then bedding down into their lip, and you're playing a fish. So nice short hook links, guys, is definitely the way to go. And last things last, oops, this tail rubber, pull it back over the top, and that, guys, is the finished rig. So lovely and easy. And now I'll get on to showing you a little bit about how to do the bait, because the way you do the bait is obviously a little bit different, but yeah. Right, so what I have here is some nice Sonu baits, salted caramel sticky method pellets, and it is very important that you actually read the packaging and get some pellets that specifically says ideal for method feeders, because you need them to be wetted down and they need to bond and stick together. Because I've made the mistake before, I just bought some little 2-3 miller pellets, and yeah, they just weren't sticking together. As soon as they hit in the water, they're just going everywhere, and it just doesn't work. So make sure you read the packaging carefully, get some specific method pellets. You can use ground bait as well, you can mix the two. I might mix the two here, I don't know, I'll see how I go, just go with the pellets. But yeah, just be careful, read the packaging. So what I've got here is my little bait bucket, but it has the mesh bag. I'm just going to pour, and this does make a good amount of bait, to be fair. Zip it up, put it back in there. So what you do, I want to completely cover these. I'm going to leave it there for about a minute to 2 minutes. Really, it kind of depends on the weather. Like, the hotter it is, I think the longer it takes for them to get to the right consistency, and then obviously throughout your session, with it being hot, they dry out, so you just have to literally splash a little bit of water on them and they're good to go for the whole entire session. So whereas obviously if it's colder, they don't really dry out, so you won't really find yourselves having to sprinkle any water on them or anything like that. I'm just going to let them soak down there for a little while, and then when they're about ready, I will show you. If you soak them a little too much, It's not a massive issue. You will just have to obviously wait for them to dry out a little bit more. So it's best to kind of drain all the water out sooner rather than later, because you can add water, you can't take it away, and you'll be sat there waiting to fish, which nobody wants, do you? Nobody wants that, no. There's so many fish about. Got a paraglider going up in the air there, look. Yow! It's all going off. My pellets are ready. What I'm going to do now is just bait up some little mainline match dumbbell wafters. They are pineapple, just little 8mm. Stick that on the band. Obviously if you don't have a band, then put it on your hair or on your screw, whatever you have. And now this bit, I'm just going to put a little bit of pellet in the mould. These come with the Drennan method feeders and they're brilliant. I suggest using them because they create such a nice presentation around your feeder, and if you need to cast it out, they're a lot more aerodynamic. You can just squeeze it all on with your hand, but these just make it a lot neater, a lot nicer, a lot easier really. So once there's a bit of pellet in there, you put your hook bait and your hook in there after that. Set it right round the middle, a bit more pellet on top of that. Try not to make an absolute mess like I have. And that is a nice mouthful of feed for the fishies. But we're not done just yet. What you do then, you grab some goo, some liquid of your choice. Like I have this Nash Citrus Cloud Yellow, or as you know if you've seen my last video, I also have Monster Crab Flat Spot. Both of these work very well. Or if you have another type of goo that you're most confident with, then absolutely give that a go. This little guy is an absolute terror. He's only a little baby, bless him, but he's an absolute little terror. Alright mate, alright. Tiny little guy. I won't bother getting this one out, guys. I'm just gonna slip him straight back. And away he goes. Yeah. It's an absolute result today. I cannot complain at all. They're coming in. I knew that wasn't going to be a very big fish just because of how it took, and I basically just reeled it all the way in as if it was a bream. So yeah, I knew that wasn't going to be a very big fish, but hey, a fish is a fish. It's just snapped everything off. Literally everything. Oh, they fight so much in here. They're strong. Never worry. Get it re-rigged, get it back out there. Gets in there. He just took me and all them reeds just down there to my right. I've done everything I possibly can to keep him out of there, and he's in the net. He gets in there. Still barely been any time whatsoever. Landing an absolutely beautiful tiny little mirror. But yeah, he's all loud and proud, got his dorsal fin on show for you guys and everything. Yeah, absolute cracker of a little fish. Another common. He's still really quite angry, so hopefully he's going to let me hold him up and show him to you guys. Nothing very big, but all these fish come in falling to that very underrated, overlooked method feeder tactic. He's done a poo in my mat. Marvellous. This session has gone way better than I could have ever actually hoped for. I was all worried down what I'd do this underrated method and then go and blank. You know, I had a feeling that was going to happen. It could not have been any more opposite. It really could not have been any more opposite. That is the way to fish the method feeder tactic. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this absolutely little carnage session. When you haven't actually got much time on your hands to be on the bank, this tactic again is an absolute no-brainer because it's a quick way to fish, it's easy, it's super effective. If you're not doing this method, then you're crazy. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's actually helped you with something, whether it's how to set up a method feeder, how to go about fishing it, the way to fish it. Then that is an absolute massive success to me, and yeah, means a lot. So that is the video, guys. That's been me, real reality. You already know it. If you've liked the video, please drop a like below, subscribe, comment, and hit that bell icon. It really helps out the channel, and it means the absolute world to me, as I'm sure you guys already know. Stay tuned for the future content, guys. I have some big things planned. I got a lot of ideas coming round up in this bald head, so yeah, stay tuned and tight lines if you're out on the bank. If not, take it easy. I'll catch you in a bit. Bosh.